Popular mostly because it was dirt cheap, the Accent really allowed Hyundai to come from obscurity to mainstream status. First introduced in 1994, not a lot has changed on the model since then, and that really allowed a lot of the competition to catch up and even surpass it. Now, since that time, Hyundai has really poured their resources into the rest of their model lineup, and it really shows. And at the same time, the Accent's starting to look really tired on dealership lots next to cars like the new Sonata or the 300 horsepower Genesis Coupe. Finally, it's the Accent's turn, and this is what we've got, a vehicle that's really jumped a generation. Now, while there is a hatchback model really designed for college kids or the Gen Y crowd, today we're driving the Accent sedan, a car really meant as a second car, a commuter car, or really just a basic form of transportation. With the new 2012 Accent, Hyundai has shown that basic transportation doesn't need to be basic, starting with the design. As you can tell, it's got a lot of those great swoopy lines from the rest of the Hyundai lineup. It sort of started with the Sonata and then afterwards with the Elantra. Although the shame is it looks almost too much like the Elantra and you can't really tell the two apart on the road, which is a bit strange. It isn't quite as dynamic though, and while it looks nice and stylish now, it looks like the kind of car that 2 years from now is just going to blend in all over again. The next thing you'll notice is the engine as soon as you turn the car on. It really feels like it's right there in front of you. And while this car may have a swoopy sort of luxury design exterior to it, it still is an economy car in many respects. Another way you can still tell the Accent is an economy car is when you hit a bump in the road. It's not unsettling by any means, but you can still tell it happens. It's more that it's been hushed over, and you almost hear it more than you feel it, which isn't entirely a bad thing. After that, the highway ride really is very nice on this car, and you can drive at 85 miles an hour and feel like you're going 60. It's really calm and quiet. As for the steering, like the rest of the Hyundai lineup, it definitely leaves something to be desired. It's vague in many respects, and really not very good at all. But thankfully, precise steering and that sporty feel isn't something that people are really looking for in this segment of car. As for the engine in this car, it's excellent. It makes 138 horsepower and 123 pound-feet of torque, which is actually more power than you get in a Toyota Corolla, which is a class above this vehicle, competing with the Elantra. So that's a really impressive number. Now, that fuel economy is also a big selling feature for this car. It gets 30 miles per gallon in the city, 40 on the highway, for a combined total of 34 miles per gallon. Although in real-world testing on our car, we've gotten 36 miles per gallon, which is excellent. The interior of the car is actually quite nice, and it comes with both some design to it, but it also keeps good ergonomics, which is important. And it's a big step forward like we've kind of come to expect with a lot of the new Hyundai products. You can upgrade it on the Accent GLS, the sedan that we're driving, with a premium package, which adds on things like steering wheel mounted audio controls, you get Bluetooth, and some other upgraded small trim items, especially the seat fabric here, which actually looks nicer than some of the base seat fabric even in the Elantra or even the Sonata. I do have one solitary complaint about the interior though, and that's the armrests on the side of the car are just this hard plastic material. Now, I'm not usually the type of person that complains about those small bits of hard plastic, because if you're not touching them, it doesn't really matter. However, you are touching this, you like to rest your arm there all the time, and your elbow gets pretty sore after a while. So just a little bit of soft material on that would make a huge difference to the interior of this car. Otherwise, it's great. The sedan, there's lots of room in the back seat for a full-size adult, and there's also a huge trunk. It's a 13.7 cubic feet, which isn't the largest in its class, but it is very sizable and really won't leave you lacking for anything. Of all the ways the 2012 Accent differs from the car it replaces, one of the most important ones is the price. Now, the previous generation car could be had for just under $10,000, and you're not even gonna get close to that with this new model. You can pick one up for $12,500, but that's a bare bones model with a manual transmission only, no power windows, and no air conditioning. If you want to get something like this, a GLS sedan with an automatic transmission, you're looking at $15,195. Add on an extra $1,300 for the premium package, and that'll give you, along with some of the items we mentioned already, the nice keyless entry as well as some 16-inch aluminum wheels rather than these 14-inch hubcaps. An excellent vehicle. With the new Accent, Hyundai has succeeded in delivering basic transportation that isn't basic. It's still an economy car in many respects, though a very good one at that. Perhaps our biggest complaint about it is that it's not priced like the old model, although we'd be foolish to say it's not worth it.